Hey everyone, hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today on September 25th. And as always, we are not financial advisors and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's get started with BTC. And look at that, paid out nicely. So we talked about how every weekend we just kind of go sideways and then we dump on Monday. This actually kind of dumped Sunday night, so that's close enough. We talked about it would go sideways and then drop back down. So this is actually playing out nicely. If we look back at, the pattern that we talked about here, where it would be something similar to this, go sideways, go up, come back down, lower. But here's the thing, it would go lower and then have a little spike up. This had a little spike up first and then it went lower, but then we slowly came back up. I thought maybe it could also be like this, where we went up, came back down lower, so we came back lower, and then this would technically be this. There's a small chance it could be there, but honestly I think it's going to be more like this. Make it a little taller so it kind of adds up more. So it's something more like this. We're going sideways. We go up, came back down. It came down a little bit lower than normal, but it's alright. We actually played this out nicely. We thought it would be a little bit more after this drop, but we hit a strong reversal fifth. So then it's like, you know what? We're going back up, which is annoying. But at the same time, when it came back up, I mentioned, hey, look, this time it's coming back up. It's actually pretty weak. It's not like before where I had these big old candles. So it's not like a big push. It would be small. And as you can see, we push all the way right back down. As mentioned through here, we would go sideways, come down, a little bit more sideways. So, once we pair this up here, it looks like, we will be coming down to the bottom trend line, as we mentioned. Then we might go sideways for another, like, a week and a half, which sucks, right? It sucks when it just goes sideways. Well, no, actually 11 days, a week. Well, sorry, a week and a half. So we'll go sideways and then eventually make our final move down and maybe even take out our 24,830. And this maybe will probably be the last big drop that we have for the rest of the year. And the rest will probably push back up and kind of just go sideways. But again, this is all the sideways year. And it's played out nicely, right? It did have a little push up, but other than that, this all has been kind of like a sideways kind of movement. A little up, sideways, little up, sideways. But now, instead of going back up, it's kind of just staying in the middle. So this is kind of messing up the trend. But we'll see. Maybe, we touch this trend line here and it somehow bounces back up. It won't be anything crazy back up, but maybe back up. But for the most part, I see just us going to sideways for again, a week and a half. If we can completely dump down and knock out that 24, that would be great. But for now, it's kind of going sideways and then eventually dropping back down. So, again, we still haven't done any DCA because, again, we're still waiting. We knew when this pushed up, didn't look right to be like, oh, you know what, we better buy now before it goes away. It's kind of just like, all right, we'll keep waiting, see how, how that plays out. And as you can see here, it just completely dumped out last night. I talked about how, since it made this red right here, this wick all the way back up, we have to come back down to this, and that should be about 25,992. And we're not on any reversal fib, so it's not telling us, hey, okay, we have to bounce back up. Kind of like here, once it dropped, it hit a strong reversal fib. It's like, you know what, guys, we're going back up. And we were hoping it would be a weak candle, but when it was healthy, I mentioned we would come back up. Right now, we're not on any reversal fib, so that's a good sign, meaning it can still drop. But right now, we are in support, so I wouldn't doubt if it went sideways, right? This is all oops. There's all support right here. So it could just continue to go sideways. And then, well, sideways for at least a week to a week and a half, and then start pushing back down. But this played out pretty nice. It's going to be in the bottom channel for a bit. Dollar slowly going back up toward 110. And it's been pretty slow. Usually, it should be a little bit quicker. But we'll see what today brings for that. But other than that, that's pretty much it for today. Bitcoin following the past perfectly. The rest of the alts are just dropping down a little bit. Again, nothing too crazy. They did have a little run, I guess you can say. Some of these are a little better than others, but I think Atom had a pretty good run. Yep, and ever since that, it's been dropping back down. So, again, not surprised. Still waiting for Ethereum to hit its lower target. And then I fell asleep on this one. The bot did give 2 failed trades. So the third one, remember 2 failed trade methods, and you take the third one every time you see 2 failed trades. So I fell asleep on that one. That would have been a really nice trade yesterday. Let's see. Oops. But that's pretty much it for today. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to touch up on. Shiba. Alright, so I was talking with someone and I mentioned how like Shiba would come back down to the bottom trend line. And if we were to drop below, then it's going to dump back down to its next support area, which is about, let's say, 6. Well, I'm not high. Well, like 676 area. So we drop below this, it's going to slowly push down to that. And again, we fall below this support, we're coming back all the way back down to 544. So it's great because we're still going to have a lot of time to, keep DCAing once we do drop a little bit more. Because again, right now, we're in the sideways year. You want to be DCAing as much as you can. You want to hold as much as you can. Obviously, be responsible. Don't put all your money there. Now you can't pay rent or something. But you want to have as much as you can with, any money you have to spare. That's free. Because then up next is the up year, right? We start off with a little bit sideways in the next year and then just slowly start to push up. And that's going to what goes into like the next bull market. So you don't want to get left behind just waiting for like, oh, well, I'm going to wait till like it completely crashes because all these other influencers or psychics are saying it's going to completely crash. I probably wouldn't wait for that because, again, we've been through that. We've kind of been burned through that. So, again, best way to go about this is slowly adding on the way up. And when the bull market's here, you're going to slowly, get out. Maybe get out a little faster than what you're buying, but you know what I mean. But all right, everyone, thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market, or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is tindicator.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have 2 levels. I have that really stand out. I have the peace of mind and I have the edge. And the reason that I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the peace of mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. Just the other day, I sent out an alert on a signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody like triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's like, oh, surprise, oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the edge tier, which the reason I call it edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the sorry, I almost said edge, but with the peace of mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in a chat room where no one can see it. For the edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, certain coins you're interested in, you just weren't sure about it. Some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. Sometimes we just talk about certain things and, it helps them calm with the market, so they're not too upset with what's going on. Maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden gems room where people post unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here, so there's a lot of links for like good cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest signal link, and the signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. Like if I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps, so that way because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted because sometimes people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know like, hey, this is emergency, like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, something big is going to happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the peace of mind, you can only view what other people are requesting. But here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these will be like this. Someone talked about 1. Well, now you know that 1 has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video, but down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what, this thing's about to take off. And it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what, this could probably be the top. And I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm going to update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, a place for woo-woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room, we have a spiritual room, and then we have 2 other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into it too much. We also have a free trading room, so if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also, the link is in the description below. If you're on the edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. Everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs, nobody's upset, nobody is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to go up? It's going to go down? We kind of already know what's going to go, like, right? And if we know we're going to drop and it goes up, we know it's going to come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room. All right, bye.